Hello everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Well, today I'm going to give you a project to launch you off into the weekend, and this is from Papercraft Society box 64, which has been designed by John next door, John Lockwood. And today, if you remember, if you were with me on my last video, I said we were going to be doing or making a packaging or gifting solution I think I said. And I was torn between making a box and making a gift bag. Well, in the end, I decided to make a gift bag. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use some papers that I've not used up yet. We're going to use part of the die set in a slightly different way. And we're going to use something from the previous box, which Lou Collins designed. So all will be revealed as we go along. So I'm just going to slide the box to one side. And you will need, these are A5 papers. And you will need two. If you haven't got this box, then you can use any papers that you've got. Just cut them down to an A5, which is like a 6x4 doubled. So I've chosen that one for the front of my bag, and I've chosen that one, which is upside down, that one for the back of my bag. And so that's going to be the front and back. So we'll put those up there for the time being. And you will need a base. So take another piece of your card or another piece of A5, and all I did, I cut it down on the long side to 4 inches. So you need one that's 4 inches wide, and I just scored it at 1 inch on each side. So you could score it at 1 inch and 3 inches, or you could score it on 1 inch, rotate it, and then score it on the other inch again. So it's up to you. I scored mine at 1 inch and 3 inches, and all of these measurements will be in the description box down below. So just click on the word more below the video and it will drop down and you'll find everything you need to know. So while we've got that, let's make sure we get this put together the right way around. It doesn't really matter, but I want that bit to be at the top. So I'm going to flip it over, and for this I'm going to use glue. I'm going to use my glue if I can get the top off. There we go. So I've already scored it, and these score lines, if you heard that click, that was the glue falling onto the floor. But that's all right, we'll grab that later. So I'm going to use my bookbinding glue from Creative Crafts. So we're just going to run some glue along there. Line, can you see that? You can, wonderful. Line the fold line with the edge, or the crease line, with the edge of your paper, and just lay it down. And you should have a perfect match. And if you use glue, in the past, I've quite often used tape, but now I've finally found a glue that meets my standards, meets my needs, I should say. I shall use glue, and that sticks quite quickly. Already that's sticking quite nicely, very nicely in fact. So then we just fold that up again, move it up a bit so that you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to take the back, and I want it facing that way. There's no right or wrong. If you've got this kit and you're following along with the same type of papers, you don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. But of course, if you're using it with other papers, you can do it however you like. But you can anyway. Just do what suits you. Just do what you like. So then I'm going to lay that on there, line it up. Once I'm sure I've got it lined up, I'm going to give it a good press, just for a few seconds. It doesn't take long. This glue, that's one of the things I love about this glue. Apart from it being strong, one of the main things I love, it grabs really quickly. So it'll stay in place. Once you've got it there, it grabs really quickly. So, well, quite quickly anyway. So that is the front and back already put together. Now, of course, you need the sides. Now, I've taken one of the other papers, and what I did was I folded it in half. Again, it's just it's an A5. And I folded it in half and cut it in half. And I put it on the short end. I cut it down to 4 inches. And again, I scored it at 1 inch and 3 inches. And on the other end, on just one of the other ends, I've scored it again at 1 inch. And what we're going to do with this one, because we need to put the thing together, we're going to create some tabs. So you can just about see the score lines there. So just cut up to the score line. Don't cut through it or past it, just cut up to it. And what we're going to do, just on one end, don't do it on the other end, but just on one end, we're going to remove this little square on either side. So we don't need those squares, and we don't need the scissors. Why not for a minute anyway? And then what you do is on the right side, or on the outside, you fold that up like that, and then you have your ends, and then you do exactly the same to the other piece. I've already done that to save a bit of time, but you do exactly the same on the other end. Now, what we need to do now, actually, before we do that, I'm going to finish. Now, I've got to make sure I do this right. I'm going to finish off the front because it'll be easier to do this bit while we're still flat. Now, if you don't want to do this extra bit, you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. But I'm going to decorate just the front of our bag, just a little bit. And what I've done with one of the blue papers from the pack, I have used, now, I've already taken the backing paper. I've got, if I bring it in there, I've got foam pads on it, but I've already taken the backing off, so I don't want to turn it over. But what I used to cut that, from this pack, I used the outer die and the oval die. I didn't use the intricate die, and I cut it like that. But this is, if you haven't got this set, this is a 6x4 and a 4x3. The oval is a 4x3 and the outer one is a 6x4. And again, I will put all of these measurements in the description below. So I'm just going to slide that up there out the way so I don't lose them. So now what we'll do, actually, while we're still there, let's finish this bit off. And as I say, I've got foam pads on there. Now I am going to use a little bit of runner tape, and in the corner I'm going to put a bit of runner tape because this is where the other bits come in. Get off. That's the trouble when you do a lot of preparation, you get sticky bits. From the previous box, box 63, which was designed by Lou Collins, I used some of the ephemera. I've still got loads and loads of the ephemera left over, and I picked out 4 of these delightful butterflies, which goes with this theme here and this theme here, but it just adds a pop of colour. So I'm going to put one of the big ones, one of the big butterflies there. I've got 2 slightly larger ones, so I'm going to put those down first. That serves me right for cutting my fingernails just before doing a video, doesn't it? And I'm going to put one there. And what I'm going to do, these other 2, absolutely gorgeous, I'm going to stick them just on the edge of the foam tape, or foam pads I should say. So make sure you stick them with the wrong side facing you at this stage. And then I'm just going to put, get off, a tiny bit of tape across there. You shouldn't need it, but just in case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that over, bring that down, and I'm going to put that roughly in the middle of the front like that. So that just gives the front just a little pop of colour. We could have left that bit open and we could have made it into a little pocket, but I decided not to do that. I decided just to make it into an extra piece. So we're going to flip that over now, and we're going to get the rest of this put together. Then we're going to put the handles on, and we are done. And I'll show you how I'm going to do the handles in just a minute. So again, bring in the 2 short pieces that we've put in, and I'm actually going to put the glue, just keep it within the score lines, don't go over the score lines, and line it up within the score lines and fold it down like that, press it down like that. So it might be easier, it will slightly go off camera, but you'll still be able to see what I'm doing. You'll get the gist of what I'm doing, and it'll all come back into frame once I start putting the other side together. So it might be easier to glue those bits to the base first. Just keep them within the score lines and you won't have any trouble putting it together. So just hold it down for a few seconds and that will grab really, really nicely. And then what we're going to do, the next bit is dead easy. All we're going to do, because this is shorter, don't put your glue all the way up because this is about 1 inch shorter. So start on one side, put some glue on the fold tab and bring it up like that. Line it up. You can lay it down like that if you want to. Line it up to the edge and give it a good press like that. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So just pop some glue on this bit here. Make sure you cover it, or most of it anyway. Swing it in like that. Line it up with the edge like that and give it a good press. And now, once we've done that, we are going to, actually we might be able to do it from there. Let's see, because it's good quality. It's good quality, this paper, it's a good one. As all of our Papercraft Society are, they're good quality. They're well worth what you pay for them. So I'm going to do mine from here. So I'm going to line it up like that and stick it down. Once it's grabbed, all I'm going to do is flip it over like that. Just pop my hands inside. You can use a bone folder if you want to, but mine's on my table. Mine's on a different table on the other side of the room. So fingers were invented before tools, so I'm going to use my hands. So I'm going to just pop that down like that. And there is our bag, almost done. So that's a really pretty bag. Now, the only thing we need to do now is put the handles on. You could leave it like that, but we do need handles as it's a bag. If it was a box, it would be different. But so that will stand up like that. And eventually what we'll do, we'll just pinch it and it will go like that. So we do need to make some handles. So I'm going to pop that to one side so that you can still see it. And the long bit that you did, this base, you cut off, you would have, if you've used the A5 papers or any A5 size, you would have cut off a little strip. Now what you need to do is keep that strip and cut it in, fold it in half lengthways and cut it in half like that. And I've got, as you can see, I've got some double-sided tape on there. I nearly forgot what it was called then. And I'm just going to take the backing tape off. And I know whatever I do, it's going to stick to me and follow me wherever I go, but never mind. That's the fun of crafting. At least it's tape and not glue. So there we go. And to make the handles, I've used ribbon and I've cut, now it's entirely up to you how long you want your handles, but I've cut approximately 10 inches. I didn't measure it, but it's approximately 10 inches. And I've got some tape on there and double-sided tape, and I'm going to just bend it in half, or bend it over I should say, and put it roughly in the middle like that. Oop, not quite like that. So we'll just make sure it doesn't come past the edge, and we're going to do exactly the same. If I can let go of it without it following me all over the place. And we've got another piece which is over there, and again we're going to fold it over like that, and we're going to lay it down like that. And then just to finish off, we're going to flip it over. It stuck to my finger, but that doesn't matter. And what we're going to do, to keep it in place, you probably guessed what we're going to do, but we're going to do it anyway. We are going to pop this in there like that. Now, I know it's quite difficult to see, but not only, there you go, not only does it hold it into place, it gives that inner edge a nice colour and it coordinates it. So I'm going to lift it up, flip it over. So I don't know whether that will stay back, it probably won't, but okay, and I don't think it'll tuck in either. So again, we're just going to turn it over so that the pattern side is facing us. Maybe if I turn it that way, you might be able to see. I'm going to pop that in like that. Like that. Can you see that better? And I'm going to get it into place. And once I'm sure it's in place, I'm just going to, or once I'm sure it's where I want it to be anyway, I'm just going to stick it down like that. So on your inside, you have a wonderful way of holding down your handle as well as a lovely edge. So if there are any rough edges, just put your finger in or use one of your tools. I'm going to use a finger and hold it and just give it a good press. And there you go, guys. There is your gift bag made with papers from Papercraft Society Box 64 or any papers you've got at home. Now, you can make this with any papers and you can make it to any size. Just adjust it to how you want it. Obviously, you'd have to adjust the measurements, but that's fine the way that is. And any size you can do as well. Just as I say, just adjust it. And that is not going to come off. That's quite strong now. So there we go, guys. There is, if I rock it backwards, you can't see it if I stand it up because the camera's up there. But if I rock it backwards, you'll get a good idea of what it looks like. So there you go. There is our gift bag made with our Papercraft Society papers or any papers you've got. Even if you have got this box but you don't particularly want to use these papers, you want to save them for something else, you can use any papers you've got and you can do this any way you like. If you haven't got butterflies, you can use flowers, you can have little animals, leaves, anything you like. So you can adapt this and make whatever you like, however you like, and whatever size you like. You just have to, as I say, adjust the sizes. So that's our project number 4 for today. I've got one more project to do from this box, and I'm going to use some of the leftovers that I've got from other projects. So I've got one with butterfly shapes in it. I've got some with oval shapes, and I haven't quite worked out what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to have a go. And I've got pieces of ribbon left over, and I haven't even used the leaf stamps yet. So I'm going to use some leftover shapes, leftover papers, and see what I can come up with for our final project. So I hope you've enjoyed this one. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you early next week, probably Tuesday now. I think we're going to make a schedule where we do Tuesdays and Fridays. I know I was doing Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, but with other duties and care duties and work and everything else, 3 times a week was getting a little bit much. So we're going to set a precedent where we have videos twice a week as from next week, which will be Tuesdays and Fridays. And the projects will also be in our group over at, well, at the moment it's still called Crafty Capers with Dawn on our Facebook group. So if you haven't joined yet and you want to see what else we get up to, do pop over. It's great fun. It's a lovely group of people. They're lovely people over there. Do come and join us and join in the fun and share your own crafting projects with us as well. That would be fantastic. And I will see you on Tuesday with our final project from this box. So until then, thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give me a thumbs up. And if you have enjoyed this video and you're not yet a subscriber, please do hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, it's totally free. And I'll see you on Tuesday. And until then, have a fantastic weekend, stay safe everybody, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.